everybody, here's Fearmy Games here, and the very bright white background. I decided it's making a comeback. I want to see if I like it or not. So we're basically right where we left off. Right over there is that NPC. I figured, because I probably haven't talked to the NPC yet, I wanted to say hi to Artemis the Ranger, see what she says. It's going to be tough getting all of our people through these mountains. Unscathed, both Rurik. To lead us, we shall persevere. How may I aid you? That is what she said. Very simple. She probably had something to do with, like, if you're a ranger, it would probably give you a quest, or, like, it was involved in a quest, I imagine. But since we're not a ranger, we don't get those quests. So we shall continue on our quest. Wrangle Ironbow gave us the Iron Horse War Machine quest. I'll reread it for those of you who want a little refresher. This is the third quest in this chain. The first quest was to go and save a dude. Second quest was to go kill some people. Now this is the third quest. Something troubles me about these here plans. Oh yeah, we killed the people to get their plans. That's what happened. Whoever made them the first time could probably make them again. I mean, they figured it out once already, right? If we want to stop them from making the blasted thing, we need to take away their means of production. I saw a group of engineers pulling a cart full of explosive barrels through here earlier, heading toward the middle of the mines. Ye should be able to jump them, use those explosives to sabotage the levers. So we just, last episode we killed some people, destroyed their like a war machine. I forget what it was like a cannon or something. And now we're basically making it so they cannot recreate those cannons. So we're gonna follow the path that we did last time, back through the little mountain pass over here. Gotta be ready to interrupt that giant stomp, because that's just rather inconvenient to have happen. There is a spellcaster over there that I can keep an eye on. Be ready to interrupt all of his spells and stuff like that. There we go, stop him from doing using Shatter Enchantment. Which would have stopped me from having Blood Ritual, and I'm not gonna let that happen. You know, stopping me from being able to have more energy regeneration. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna let that happen. Oh my god, my face is getting so bright right now. I'll just negate that empathy. There we go. He casted empathy on me. Thankfully, not one of our big attackers, auto attackers, so it wasn't the end of the world for me. And I interrupted his Shatter and Enchantment, because who knows what he's about to do. You know, this henchman grouping is definitely a lot nicer than it was, definitely a lot nicer than it could, I was gonna say, brain's not working. It's definitely a lot nicer than before. This cultist guy, I really love how much he keeps giving me more energy. Interrupt that giant stomp so he doesn't knock us to the ground, and we'll just finish him off. There's a sage over here. Just focus, fire him down, get rid of the casters, make sure he doesn't cast any spells to weaken our troops. Then we'll just finish this guy off real fast. Easy clap. Now over here we have the Ettins again. This very large group of snow Ettins. On the bright side, though, are they going to be grouped up on me instead of my melee guys? That's a bit unfortunate. But on the bright side, I did get an empathy off on them, which should hopefully slow down their DPS enough to, it slowed their DPS enough around that I didn't die before they died. They've changed target to Orion, though, after he casted Firestorm. It's like, fire! Who cast fire? He cast the fire! Kill him! Kill him! That was basically what happened there. Oh, I did not clear my inventory. I should have done that. I was not thinking things through. My inventory is pretty full right now, but on the bright side, I might be able to clear it up real fast. I don't really care about having this is a pretty nice shield for this particular area, because we'll be facing dwarves for at least a mission or two. Oh, so far. Plus, all the side quests we're doing has a lot to do with them as well. Let's see, nothing for me though, really. Most of these are martial weapons and stuff. Itchy. Yeah, today I'm recording a video. I wasn't originally planning to record this video the same day as I recorded the 1212 ED mod episode. I originally was not planning on being able to record this video today. But ended up happening is that my morning client ends up canceling, so I'm like, well, I have free time. I might as well record a video here for you guys. That way I don't have to worry about doing it later in the evening when I want to be in bed instead. That way I'm, ahead of schedule. Then once we're done with this episode, I'll probably need to do some D&D preparation. I got a thing that I have no idea how I'm really going to prepare it, but I want to make sure I get it done at least nicely. I know that I don't want to do everything, but I at least, want to get some NPC names, what they look like, in case they encounter them. Potential ideas that I might do to, get people involved with the, who might not be as interested in the role-playing aspect of it, because there's a social encounter aspect of it, because, instead of just going to, go to this area, kill some stuff, I'm gonna try see if with the group, if I'm able to run effectively that's a fast spell. If I'm able to effectively run a social encounter session, and if my players are interested in that, see if they're interested in doing more of that kind of thing. That guy's the healer. He wasted energy there. Oh, there's two of them now. I gotta kill that guy before the other one heals him. Perfect. Okay. Oh. He's actually kind of hurt. No, my cultist is down! Who's gonna give me my energy regeneration now? Oh. Were you attacking me this whole time? I did not even notice this dude before. I got a steel key to open up a steel chest. I got a long sword. Not something I can really make use of, unfortunately, but at least it's a purple longsword. Means I can get some money out of it. So I only see one caster, so I'm gonna basically sit on the Doliac Rider and abuse him as much as I can. It stopped him from casting Remove Hex, so that way the full cast of my my Conjure Phantasm would be able to damage him, so he wouldn't just negate it. I'm just going to cast Clumsiness on him, interrupting him. That was actually more perfectly timed than I intended. He was I cast Clumsiness, he tried to do his attack against me, and he just got interrupted. That was kind of beautiful. I can admittedly go around these guys, but I want to charge them. Charge the enemy! I was too slow. Okay. I was expecting him to try and remove Hex, the Conjure Phantasm I had on him, but he ended up not having it. But he ended up casting a protection spell instead, which was too fast for me to interrupt. Let's see, finish off with that guy. This guy has empathy slowly taking him down. I love empathy. It's such a nice spell. Now that makes it so much easier to murder all of your enemies. Let's see. I want a way to try and... Let's move this there, and then move this here, and then let's salvage this to make more space. Then we can move this here to then identify it, so I know how much it's worth when I come to deleting stuff. So it looks like there's a powder keg station here. So sabotage 9 or more control levers. So I guess we need to pick up one of these kegs, go to a lever, and then blow it up. Looks like there's some stone summon howlers over here. That guy's not really fighting back very effectively. What are you doing? Why aren't you casting spells? There we go. That group might actually come towards us soon, so we have to be a little bit aware of that. Drop that and run! Run! How many did that destroy? Could destroy 3 of the levers there. So is there more bombs up ahead, or it looks like we need to take the ones, we need to go back to take that one there. Definitely this rider's the epitome of focus the healer, because he does not heal himself, he only heals others. So he will slowly just die, no way for him to bring himself back up. Clumsiness, they saved that cultist, I'm pretty sure of that, because I stopped 2 hits on him, and he also was able to run away, so I think I saved his life. Magical. You know, it's always kind of interesting how in kind of the game, like in the game world, in lore-wise, resurrection's a thing. Always kind of makes me kind of funny when it's like, why don't we just resurrect this dead guy and bring him back? And sometimes it's like, why don't we, like, Rurik? Oh, no, this is one. No, never mind. Never mind. Like characters that die in the story. You know, there's a side quest that I could have sworn I did. Maybe it wasn't a side quest. Maybe it was part of a mission that I missed. But if you guys remember, Old Mac, I think I mentioned this at the time. Old Mac, we gave him a Devourer egg. As kind of like to help him protect his flock and stuff right before the searing. He's actually still has the Devourer and joined the army, and so one of the mission quests I could have sworn is something that I missed. That I already did, and I don't even remember doing it. And so we actually find him still alive, being a crazy old dude, and he's alive and well with his Devourer. I honestly love those little details that a lot of games don't do, where it's like, well, there's this random NPC here, the quest where you kind of give him something to help him out, and then you find him still alive, still using what you gave him. I'm like, that was pretty cool. But I didn't see the quest anywhere. I might have to do some research, see if it's still available, and I could pick it up. Or if I missed it, then oh well. Blow it up! Kablooey. Alright, so now we need to go back for more bombs. Yeah, this mission is actually kind of easy. So there's a group over there that, like, used to patrol it, doesn't quite bring them here, so we don't have to actually worry about them because of the path we took. Oh, I'm going to real fast change something on my laptop. I had originally set it to different. There we go. I'm not sure if you guys can hear the fan or not from the laptop, but just in case, I'm moving it from performance to silent on the cooling fans. The silent usually does enough to keep it cool, but I put it on performance while I was gaming because it was really hot, and I wanted to make sure it was able to keep itself cool at least. So sorry if you guys heard that sound, the loud noise. The last enemy alive. I didn't even know we had an enchantment 2B strip right there, actually. If Vampiric Touch was too fast, I couldn't stop him. Is there any way to get... I guess not. I was wondering if there's any way to, like, get all of them, but looks like I have to go back for one more round. Apparently that ball explosive does not hit very hard. Apparently. Maybe I hit 2 of them because there's only 1 lever left. So maybe there was a possibility for me to get all 3 of them. I guess they're moving... way if they're moving around their supplies and stuff like that on these things. Though it's kind of moving back and forth because it's mostly there for effect, but I guess this is reality. There should be like dwarves up there to like move it over to the next zip line or something, but because this is a game, it's mostly there for like visual effects. Oh, sorry. What's very funny is I don't even know which lever wasn't hit with the explosion, so I'm gonna try hitting both of the remaining ones just to be on the safe side. Gotta go fast, gotta go fast, Nice, so let's put this here. I'm assuming it's this one right here, but I'm going to put this here just to be on the safe side. So it should hit both of them. Perfect! Now back to Wrangle Ironbow. I felt like we were going to do a little bit more. But we've done our work of sabotage. Let's go back the way we came so we can get back to Wrangle without any difficulties. Run, my people. Give me swiftness. So that's why I may move faster towards my destination. I have one space left in my inventory, not counting where I have these random stuff here. This little sparkler for the celebration stuff. Whee! The brandy and stuff like that is actually something I would keep because you can use these if you're playing a drunken build. And I would save the birthday cupcake forever if you need it in like a mission or something like that. Because it makes you move a little bit faster, but also grants you bonus health and energy. So it basically makes it you're a little bit tankier and a little bit more ability to cast spells. Very useful when you are in a mission and you need a little bit extra boost of power. I was able to say I quite like the build setup I got here. I got 2 interrupt abilities, and then I just use basically technically is an interrupt as well, but I mostly use it for just damage. If it happens to knock somebody down, great. I use it as like a free energy damaging spell. You know, Conjure Phantasms, just spam that one, deal some decent damage with it over time. Cleavages is really good against grouped melees or grouped ranged people, because they'll just knock them down, interrupt their attacks. Really useful, for, as you saw, like with the cultist when he's about to be knocked down, potentially killed again. And then that group of dwarves, I just knock both of them down, interrupting their attack, and stop them from going down potentially, because he was able to then run away at the same time. And of course, empathy is just really good against anything with high attack rates, because you're just like empathy, and suddenly you do less damage per attack, and you take damage every time you attack. Perfect for me. Oh, looks like I missed this on the ground. Extra loot is good loot. After this mission, we definitely need to clear up our inventory a little bit, I think. We're full on inventory. Oh. I Wrangle Iron Bow. Whoa! I haven't seen explosives like that since Rornock dropped his pipe into a shipment of Dragonstone. We'd better let things calm down a bit. They're sending in reinforcements as we speak. And now that filled up my inventory. I got a longbow. It's actually better than the longbow I have right now. The one that I've been using for, to an extent, is better. So now we'll map travel back to Yaxbend and do the 2 side quests in the Ascalonian Foothills, and then we'll see where we are there. I don't think we should do the Boils Pass mission, because that could take a little while. Let's see. We'll see if there's anything I know off the top of my head or things that I want. I mean, some of these are pretty nice. Like Saint of Weariness is pretty good. Guilt was also actually pretty nice for some energy management, as well as interruption. So there's shame and guilt. So guilt just looks like the better version of shame. Oh, next time a target forecast spell that targets a foe. Oh, basically this is good against heal. Because I guess heal people, like healers. So because it interrupts the heal spell, because like a foe targets a spell and then targets another foe, which would be heal or buff spell. This one is a foe cast spell that targets an ally. So basically an enemy caster, like a spell, like an offensive caster. And of course, Shatter Enchantment, which is what you saw some of our enemies using already. Might just buy Guild because that seems like a pretty nice one to have. I'm not sure if I'll pick it up, if I'll use it or not, but I figured, you know, might as well pick it up. Arcane Echo is one that we'll definitely want in the future. We probably won't use it right now, but we'll definitely want to use it later on. Alright. So let's clear our inventory real fast. Selling. I think I'll keep that if I have storage space. If not, then I will just Hornbow's unidentified. So, oh wait, this is one I'm keeping. This is the one I use. I want to sell the Cruel Staff, and I'm also thinking of selling actually this longsword because I don't use it anymore. Yeah, let's just delete that in the front now. We might find a we might replace it later on. We'll see. Where's that other item that he would have? Oh, this one. I kind of forgot about this one. So let's move this there and there. So let's identify the unidentified weapon. So improved sale value, highly salvageable. So let's do the highly salvageable on this one. We got some steel ingots. That's pretty nice to have. Did I customize this one? Yes, I did customize this one. Okay. So let's see. Do we have space in our bank and a Zunlai chest for this? I'm a bit of a hoarder sometimes. Like, part of the reasons why I have so much storage space occupied by these miniatures, I do not remember if I can delete these or not, and I'm kind of worried about doing that, so I don't delete them. It's like, what if it removes the progress door that I have towards it? So we're going to go for whichever one. We're going to both these go to the Ascalonian Foothills, so we'll see which one comes up first. But we will be, I think this way is probably the fastest way to the Ascalonian Foothills. It's just a guess, though I could be wrong. Oh, we got some enemies over here. But they should die, thankfully, without too much difficulty, as they are not all that strong. Well, there's a very small group of them. It's just a random encounter, man. I love that energy generation. It's beautiful. They got a sage over here. Did you just shatter my beautiful enchantment, you little shit? You little shit will pay! You will all pay! Now, I'm actually about to run out of salvage kits here, so that could be a bit of a problem. Stalwart's actually not too bad, but I'm not gonna use it, so I'm just gonna use my basic salvage kit. I think we can go this way and we'll be okay. You just gotta kill. Oh, look, another steel chest over there. I wonder if that one's a bit better than the one we had before. Took me too long. It's not the end of the world. Oop. I wasn't paying attention, so I ignored so I didn't miss the chance to interrupt them. There's the Howler. I want to be ready for him to cast a spell before he dies. He's dead then. We don't need to worry about it anymore. Got hit by a called shot. I wasn't paying attention. He called it out to me and said, "I'm gonna get you," and I'm like, "What?" And then I got hit. Where's it goes what happened there? That's what a called shot is. I swear, team. I swear. Not really. What it just says is you call the shot that takes a little bit longer, but you can fire 2 shots instead of just 1. I'll just interrupt that one, so that way he has as little healing as possible active for himself. Because the bending basically means target gains health regeneration, and I assume he's targeting himself, so that means he'll be a little bit more annoying to kill. So. Yeah, Help finish him off if he tries to attack again. So it looks like we're close enough in levels for me to get some experience out of killing these guys, so that's nice. So onwards to the Ascalonian Foothills. This is if you're not doing the missions and you want to just go through all the way to Lion's Arch, you go through the DSL lowlands into the Ascalon Foothills and then into the Shiverpeak Mountains. That basically when people would run characters, they would either run from Lion's Arch to Ascalon or from Ascalon to Lion's Arch. That they would run it through this path here. It's kind of an interesting way they kind of designed it. I used to run on a dervish, but then when my build was nerfed, I tried running it on my warrior, but I ended up just even though I like my test run, I had no problems with it. When I actually tried running it for some reason, I just couldn't get past the enemies, and I'd be like, I'm sorry guys, sorry for wasting your time. You can keep your gold. I felt bad about it. And then I stopped running after that one because I was like, well, my builds not working anymore, so. And I didn't really know enough about the game at the time to try and come up with another one. So, a little bit of a history for you guys. So we're facing Hydras. Hydras here. We haven't encountered these guys, but they are elementalists, fire elementalists to be exact. They can do a decent amount of damage. As you can tell with that meteor, it dealt some nice damage to us, knocked us down. And then it has an AoE spell, which is all enemies. Oops, I cast the wrong spell there on accident. Whoopsies, now that's a problem. And basically, people in an area get knocked down and suffer damage, basically. So that's one of the spells we need to definitely interrupt. Thankfully, it has a long cast time, so it makes it easier for us to interrupt it. Inferno, though, is the part that's going to make it so our melee fighters feeling a lot of pain, essentially, because their melee fighters are like, we can't really, be near this thing or else it's going to hurt us, and then the other guys are casting spells to make them less effective in melee, so altogether just as a bad time for all of the melee henchmen. I lost many friends in the searing. Many simply disappeared. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Sorry to hear that. So this one is the Missing Artisan. So this one, I think it gives me quest stuff here. So he's over here, next to the collector. So the Statue of Grenth. What does this say? So this is the statue. If we get people, I guess, rising from the ground, there's Grenth, and all of his weird glory. Statue of Grenth. Came then Desmina, scorned and exiled by her people, and in her misery and wretchedness, dead Desmina cursed the gods for abandoning all, who like her admired power and ambition. And asketh she, where is the god to whom I may give my undying devotion? Where is the god to whom I may beg revenge against those who scorn me? And rumbled then the earth from far below, and with a terrible groan split open, the ground grew white with frost and ice, and from forth the frozen earth spilled the rotted skeletal minions of Grenth. Appeared then the god, and with bony hands outstretched, welcomed the girl into his fold. Saith he, I am your god, follow where I lead, come whence I call, and the rotted corpse of the dead will be yours to control. And swearing allegiance in life and beyond, did Desmina thence become the god's first follower. Scriptures of Grenth 48b. And Desmina, if you guys play Guild Wars 2, is actually the first boss, heavily involved in the Wing 5 raids in the Hall of Chains, where we defeat her body, which basically became separated from her soul, reinvited her the soul, and then kind of escorted her through all the way up until the end of Doom, where I'm pretty sure she kills all of Grenth's Reapers and takes control for herself. Pretty sure of that. So this is Artisan Rediger, the guy we were looking for. It's true, Tabar did give me some hide strips, but he's out of luck. I lost them escaping from the dwarves up on Traveler's Vale. I have decided the mountains aren't for me, friend. No, I'll stay here safe in the shadow of Grenth, if you please. Believe it or not, I manage to survive all right up here. Every week or so, there's some refugees who come by, giving me a chance to ply my trade. Speaking of which, is there anything I can do for you? You might find the crafters up in the X-Bend require a thing or two that I can make. So tempered glass vials, leather squares. Basically, these are rare crafting materials that he sells here. I don't know if he sells these for a cheap price. It's a bit outside of my experience, but he at least has them available. And if I wanted to sell 3 leathery claws, presumably from the Hydras, he would give us that. We can trade that in for a bag, but we're full on bags. So now we have another quest. Wow, this one's actually not very far away from the entrance. They guys almost made it without having any troubles. What time is it? About the 30-minute mark? Okay. I think the Boulder Elemental are the ones that are going to be the main damage dealers in the groups here. The Stone Furies do some nice stuff, but I think they're mostly just throw rocks, do a little bit of damage, cast their wards, cast their Eruption, which doesn't seem to have done much of anything, because I know 2 of them got off, but we're not really all that much worse off. Maybe if like we got caught with a bigger group, it'd be a bit more of an issue. So over here is where we want to go, looks like. So there's some Hydras over here. Let's interrupt that Meteor. This one's going to cast Meteor as well, so let's interrupt that. That doesn't mean they might not cast Meteor again. There's always that possibility. So here is Oswald's headstone. Oswald Alston, loving husband in life, savior in death, my strength, my inspiration, my love. And apparently his ghost is here as well. Oop, come, hey, there we go. Elsa sent you, and she's alive and well. That is all I need to hear. Perhaps now my spirit can go in peace. Goodbye. Good saw. Into Grant's dark embrace you go. I think what we're going to do is for the rest of the episode, instead of doing Boiler's Pass, which we'll pick up probably next episode, is actually we're going to go towards the location I haven't gone to yet with you guys, and that's going to be the Greenwich Courthouse. Oops, I forgot about the interrupting the meteor, which is kind of an important thing to do. Oh, that guy's gonna cast meteor again on me. Yep, interrupt that. Cast a backfire on it to stop him from doing a lot of damage. Cast some clumsiness to stop those guys. Perfect. That meteor does a lot of damage. I don't know the fastest route to my destination, so we're gonna explore. I haven't really been in the Ascalonian Ascalonian Foothills a lot. Ooh, a little grand picture there. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to do a little bit of exploring while we're here. Interrupt that, and then blow them up. Easy clap. And we'll just cast Clumsy on this guy to interrupt him. The other guy's dead. Perfect. And easy clap. We do a nice amount of burst damage against those Hydras. Especially because we're coming from Yak Spend, which means that we have 6 people at level, with 5 of them being level 8, rather than 4 people, 3 of them being like level 6. So definitely makes it a little less difficult than it always might be if we came directly from Ascalon. Nope, I forgot about the fact that this guy likes to cast Meteor. And it does a lot of damage, so forgetting about it is an issue. On the bright side, though, because I cast Backfire on him, the AI won't kill itself to cast it, so basically means the Hydra's only doing auto attacks, which is not really going to be a big threat. Comparatively speaking, well, it looks like we're already at the DS Lowlands. The foothills are smaller than I remember them. Maybe because it's like we took them the most direct route, potentially. Sorry, coughing. Yeah. There's a little bit of stuff over there. Those are the kind of thing where it's like, if you're going for, should be Tyrian, do I have the title here? Tyrian Explorer. Basically, if you explore the entire thing, you get an achievement. So basically, if we were going for achievement stuff, I would want to come back here and basically explore all over here, all over here, all up here, over here. You know, basically everything I didn't explore extensively. I want to make sure I explore them so that way I can get progress on the Explore title track. There's some other stuff here where you can do if you win PvP. There's other title stuff there too. I know that the Greenwich courthouse is not too far away from here, so we'll just have to find our way through these tribes. It's such a stark difference, like from the Axe Bend area to here, in terms of how much they do. They killed themselves to cast a heal spell. Glorious, glorious. Interrupt life siphon, so it can't regain energy. Oh, I have not enough energy to cast that spell I was trying to cast. Cultist, you failed me. I was supposed to never run out of energy. How could you not cast that blood? I see, now you cast it outside of combat. You should have given it to me in combat. Damn it. So the Storm Rider here is a Mesmer enemy, so let's make sure it doesn't cast Backfire on me. Because I'd rather not have Backfire be cast on me or any of my allies if I can help it. Fortunately, there's 3 of them, so they got Backfire off on our Cultist character, which means the guy who gives me energy is not going to be able to give me as much energy. That's not very good. On the bright side, though, if there's only 2 at a time, I can interrupt both of them and be like, giggity giggity, bucko. I believe I'd mentioned a video that I was planning to go to Greenwich Courthouse off screen, but I didn't have time to do it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it, and then I never ended up getting around to it. I'm like, I was like, oh, I could do it now, but then I saw the time where it's like, oh, we're 30 minutes in. I don't really think that's gonna be enough time to do Borderless Pass in a reasonable time frame. By reasonable time frame, I mean in a time that it doesn't take more than, and that way. Because I don't intentionally want these episodes to go more than an hour. It's just sometimes I do go for more than an hour. Sometimes I'm just enjoying myself too much, and then I do not pay attention, and suddenly, oh, whoa, it's been an hour. Or yeah, that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh my, I gotta find a good stopping point. Or sometimes a mission might take a really long time. Which has happened. I think the longest mission we've had is like 45 minutes, I think. Though there's some really long missions in the future. Try this on for size. There's something going on here. There's a large group of Char over here, but the Martyr I'm gonna keep contained with a backfire spell while I focus on his frontline fighters. There we go. The Fire Caller, he definitely tried to cast a heal spell and almost killed himself, so... I didn't interrupt the Fire Caller. I definitely could have. But I didn't really even notice there was a Fire Caller there, so I was like... And then I realized it was there. I was like, oh, well. He didn't seem to do too much. Let's see, am I going too far out of the way? Let's see. I think I still need to go. I believe it's up above here somewhere. I could be wrong. Either way, we're getting exploration done for that achievement I was just telling you guys about. So I see a Fire Caller right there. Looks like because what happened there was I damaged the Fire Caller, and he basically, and then he interrupted the flare by himself, because what happened is that takes up about half of his health, maybe just under half of his health. So he started casting flare, but before he finished casting flare, I damaged him. So the AI is like, oh crap, I'm about to die if I finish casting the spell. So it interrupted itself, thus making it so it didn't get it off, so it basically wasted some time. Making our lives easier. Some of the advantages are like the AI is smart in the fact that it doesn't kill itself, but also means because the AI is not dumb, you're able to kind of abuse that fact as well. Because the AI will not kill itself to cast that powerful spell if it knows it's going to die through casting that spell. So I think it's about here. I think this is the outline of the courthouse right there. So we're almost there. And then you can see more of the ruins of Ascalon. Oh, look, we got some Hydras down here, actually. I didn't realize they went this far. That's interesting. Alright, I was not fast enough in trying to get involved in interrupting that guy, but thankfully he kind of killed himself. Infuse Health is a really powerful spell. the main weakness of infused health is that it uses half of your health hit points to heal other people. So if you are unable to kind of make up for that fact, you're kind of in a bad position. Inferno Cat, as you can see. And that's kind of what happened there. It basically made it so he didn't have enough health to really survive us attacking him. Though I love having an Elementalist run that build with infused health and all that jazz. Oh, let's see. Oh, I'm tired. Frenzy. Got the Char Shaman. Interrupt that ability. There's the Char Axe Fiend. The Ashen Claw I should really keep a little better eye on because of Life Siphon. Makes it so he just takes a little bit longer to die than he otherwise would, so it's like... And there is the Greenwich Courthouse, and we've actually explored almost the entirety of the DSO Lowlands. I think maybe... Let's just take one dip our toes right over here, and I think we'll have this entire north side done. I think there's only a little bit in the west, which would basically be Nolonda Academy to the Ascalonian Foothills would be the only thing left unexplored, and I think the area over here. So might as well dip our toes here. I think we can kind of see as we go. Right now it's right now I think we've got about 0.5%. I think I didn't really keep track of the exact percentage. I know we were at 13 before. So we have not gone up a full percentage, but I think it's, you know, not the end of the world. But yeah, let's see. Being over here actually takes us way a little bit further in a different direction than I expected. Oh, I didn't even notice that there was guys down here attacking us. So let's just deal with that real fast, because that's actually a lot of casters. That's a problem. Oh, I was hoping that was a heal spell. Ah, I was too slow. The other guy's at least dead, but it's still kind of annoying. Yeah, we're gonna win this battle because the Blade Storms can't figure out how to get up to us. And our casters are do a little bit more damage than their casters do. Their casters are a little bit more focused on providing a little bit of support for the front line. Their main DPS is actually their melee people and their fire caller. Like, in my experience. But it looks like they are just kind of like trying to stay away from our range of our spells. Let's see. I think I can kill this guy with Conjure Phantasm. Yep, he moves slightly, just enough into range that I can hit him without having to worry about it. But I can't get the other guys over there. Oh, apparently there's a Char Patrol up there. Come on. Just die already. There we go. Easy clap. So up here, this is an area we have not been at all before. We've been over here, but we've not been up here. So this one, we walk up over here, should start going up a little bit as we explore. Even if it's just a percentage point. More Devours. Oh, apparently that's a Carrion Devourer. I thought that was Whip... Oh, I was like, I could have sworn there's 2 Whiptail Devourers. And I was right. I just didn't notice the Carrion Devourer also being there. Ooh, what is that? Oh, hi, Flash Gordons. Spasmo Thunderbolt is the name of this particular gargoyle. Interrupt the Resurrect spell. I didn't even notice there was a Resurrect gargoyle there. But a good thing I happened to click him at the same time he was trying to cast Resurrect. I'm like, none of that now, good sir. What is this? Shiny. But no context given, I guess, for him. I wonder if there's like a quest that I haven't found that goes there. I think this is as far as this goes. I think this follows this path all the way over to the tar pits where we've already been. So let's just go back, and we can't go any further this way. So it looks like we've done the exploring over here. Was not enough to go up even a percentage of Tyria. If you can see, this is the whole area we've been so far. We've done a lot of stuff here, but there's some areas we missed over here. Probably, I think over here we could explore. I'm not 100% sure about that one. We explored over here, but it's still only 13% of Tyria. 13.5 really. Let's kill these guys because they'll probably get a little too close for comfort. So I'm just going to focus them down. And once that guy starts to cast... Never mind, I was about to say, when that guy tries to cast anything, I'm going to kill him, but he ended up not doing that, so... Alright, now just this guy remaining, and he's dead. Alright, now let's grab the courthouse. Let's see, so there's this one. Gamer title track. When we've reached gamer points. You earn gamer points by participating in festival games. I don't remember doing any festival games on this character. Or is this account-wide? It's account-wide. I've not really done that a lot. And this is the survival title track on this character. The most we've had since we died is 39,653 experience points. Since that was the most we went with without dying. I do not know if that's what we have right now, though. So this is the Greenwich Courthouse, an outpost. No quests take you here, and there are no quests here. But you do have some henchmen. You do have like some NPCs around here you can talk to. For example, War Master Lebowski. When I was just a young hooligan, I found myself before a judge on a regular basis. I stood here inside this very building as my punishments were read by the magister. Back then, I can remember wishing this building would be hit by lightning or destroyed in a great fire. Never did I think it would come to be. Kind of sucks to be you moment kind of right there, or, you know, careful what you wish for moment right there. Oh, that's a Survivor. That one I want to keep. His Survivor is pretty nice. Survivor used to be super expensive. I don't think it's as expensive as it used to be. I think it's pretty cheap now, but still a nice little thing to have because a decent amount of builds, especially hero builds, make use of it. One thing I'd say I'm very conflicted with is part of me wants to get heroes for running for event when we can eventually. And part of me just wants to run henchmen. I'm super conflicted about which one I want to do. So there's a skill vendor here, but I don't think I really need anything that he has. Because probably Yaxman has everything he can provide. Some crate and footwear if I wanted it, but I probably don't. I'm gonna go turn in a quest at Yaxman if there's any quests left, and check to see if there's anything there. Does not look like there's any more side quests to do, so we're going to go to Borealis Pass, and next episode, everybody, we will do the Borealis Pass mission, the cooperative mission, using our henchmen, friends, and allies, even if they piss me off with sometimes how their AI works. We will do whatever it is. I believe I remember what the mission is, but I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. In the snowy land of Yaxman, of the Shiverpeak Mountains, where Yaxman is in. We've explored a little bit up here. If we wanted to, you could follow this path up and around, all the way down, and then out into Kryta. Or what we're doing is we're gonna take 2 missions and we'll end up about the same area. 2 to 3 missions and we end up about the same area as you can just go around. We'll probably either through side quests or some other means, or maybe we'll just do some exploring there, because there is actually an outpost there that we can explore. And that will hopefully be a little fun thing to do. And also, if you guys notice, we went up by 0.1% by taking Greenwich as part of our exploration. It is not a lot. It's not worth a lot because it's so small. But we have that now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. It helps with the algorithm. If you're on Rumble, press that Rumble button. Feel free to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time in BitChute. You know what to do.